Hi, I'm Coach Greg from ARX Human Performance, and I'm here today to talk to you about some of the exercises you're going to encounter in your strength and conditioning program with Embark Exploration Company to prepare you for your climb or your trek. First thing I want to talk about is your core. Now, when I talk about core, most people will think about this right here, their six-pack or their rectus abdominis. I'm going to challenge that thought today. What I want you to do is I want you to think about your core encompassing everything from your shoulders down to your hips, front, back, sides, inside and out. So everything here in your trunk is considered your core. Now more specifically, I want you to think, as it relates to exercise, I want you to think about your rib cage or your thoracic spine stacking over your hips. And while some exercises we do will cause flexion of the spine or extension, for the most part, any of the lifts we do when we have an external weight like a kettlebell, sandbag, or a barbell are going to be done with that rib cage stacked in line with our hips. A strong core means a strong relationship between that thoracic spine and the hips. And a strong core is going to give you better posture with a loaded ruck or loaded pack on your back on your climb or your trek. Now the next exercise I want to talk to you about is the squat. Let's talk about how that relationship affects the squat. When we do a squat, most of the faults I see are either knees bending first or rounding of the spine. Okay? A good squat is always going to start with a nice, stable core, a slight hinge with the hips. Notice I didn't bend forward or bow forward. I pushed my hips back to get that hinge, and then I descend in a squat. Now when you're first starting out with your squats, especially body weight squats, it's good to do 3 to 4 sets of 10 to 12 reps to get used to the movement. Now you can also play around with tempo. The slower you go, the harder it's going to be and the more you're going to get out of it. So if I were to do a squat at a 3-second descend and a 3-second ascend, it's going to look like this. Nice straight spine, flex of the hips or hinge at the hips, nice down slow, 3 seconds, and then 3 seconds up. Now, as you're doing this, again, 3 to 4 sets, 10 to 12 reps. Once you're able to do that at a pretty comfortable pace, you can go ahead and add load. Now, some of the implements we can do with load is we can do a kettlebell, and we can hold that in a goblet position. Again, nice tall spine, slight hinge, squat down. Again, slow tempo. Don't think of slow as a bad thing. Think of slow as control. You can also use a sandbag. Now for the sandbag, you can either load it on your back, nice and slow, or you can front load it in a front rack position. You can even use the pack that you're going to be doing your climb or your trek with. And as it gets closer to your climb or your trek, I'd actually recommend this as you get your body used to movement with the pack you're going to be using. Again, nice tall spine. Now this is going to create a little bit of a balance challenge. Slight hinge. And there you go. Now, the squat is important to your training for this trek in several ways. Number one, because we are focusing on keeping that core nice and stable, this is now a core exercise. So we're working on core strength. The next thing is we're working our hips and our quads, which is going to be vital for climbing both up and down a mountain. This exercise and the other exercises in this video series, when done correctly, are going to help you to perform at your best and stay injury-free on your next climb or trek with Embark. Thanks for watching. This is Coach Greg at ARX. Happy climbing.